Hello, back again for another astrology update. Diane Cox here, and following on from the video I did on Pluto moving into Aquarius and all the bonkers, wonderful things that can happen with the Lord of the Underworld joining up with the rebel and the kind of brilliant genius. So much potential there. This video is on Saturn moving into Pisces in March the 7th or 8th, depending where you live in the world. Saturn is moving into Pisces, and it is another big shift of energy, and I'll tell you why. So Saturn, in the past, actually for almost 6 years, has been in its own signs. Capricorn is ruled by Saturn, and Aquarius is ruled by Saturn in the old ways. Aquarius is now ruled by Uranus. Both. Hey, why not? And so therefore, in the past 6 years, Saturn has been in its element. It's been at, just like where it exactly wants to be. So Saturn is discipline, seriousness, get on with it, get down to it, get the job done, concentrate, make things happen. It's the strict teacher and parent that always is bearing down on our case, okay? And Saturn wants you to do things properly, wants to learn your lessons. Saturn returns, which come around 28, 29 years of age, and then I'm actually in a Saturn return right now at my age. And basically, it takes about 28 years to 30 years to come round the whole chart and come back to where it was at the year of your birth. Okay, that's what a Saturn return is. And the most profound one normally is when you're 28 or 29 and you've kind of had a good go at life, had a kind of jobs or relationships, babies or loss, and Saturn comes around and it kind of grabs you by the scruff of the neck and goes, okay, what are you doing with yourself? What are you doing with your life? Get on with it. Stop faffing around, stop messing about. Saturn is like, get down to business, get down to work. Saturn is the long game. It's a worker. Saturn can be, like, I actually have a friend with strong Saturn in their chart, and I remember once being out somewhere and looking at their phone and saying, "What games have you got on your phone then? What can I do while I'm waiting?" And this person looked at me and they went, Games. What do you want games on your phone for? And I just burst out laughing because it was so Saturn. It's like games, playing, having fun. Well, don't be ridiculous. We get out of business here. We do what we're meant to do. And we don't lark around. We don't kind of distract ourselves. We get on with it and we do it. Of course, there's great benefits to that, to just getting the job done. And obviously it can also be a little bit, a bit heavy. It's like, here we go again, When are we going to have some laughs? It's like, no, we don't have laughs here. We do a tax return and then we do it again because we might have missed something. And then, we get all our kind of files in order. Useful. Saturn is useful. It's great. It's a hard worker. And always reaches the end. Saturn is also responsibility. Saturn takes responsibility for what it's doing, where it wants to be, actions, words. Saturn does take responsibility, which can be brilliant in any workplace or friendship. There's the person with good Saturn, working well Saturn is the person that will, if anything happens, they'll just take control and they'll do everything brilliantly, and everyone can sigh a sigh of relief because there's a Saturnian person in the midst. So Saturn can be very, very good. It's a as you can see, it's reliable, very reliable. Saturn will do what Saturn says, okay? So there's Saturn for you. So in the past 6 years, it's been in Capricorn and then Aquarius. Capricorn for about 3 years, say, give and take. Aquarius, give and take, the same. It's in its own element. It's in its own sign. It's been organising and, getting everybody organised and doing things that need doing and doing all the boring stuff that everybody doesn't want to do, apart from those who've got good Saturn and probably heavy Virgo. And so it's been like, yes, Saturn in Aquarius the past 2.5 years. I think it went into Aquarius early 20, it was like just creeping in, early 20, I wrote that down. When did it actually go in? March 2020, it kind of started dipping its toe into Aquarius. And March 2023, it comes out. So it's been organising and structuring stuff for 2 years. Well, 3 years by the time it gets to 2023. And obviously when it's in its own sign, it works very well because it's happy bossing everything around, doing what it wants, saying no to everybody else and putting its foot down, okay? Saturn is organisation, Saturn is government, it's authority, okay? Saturn is bank systems and structures like that. So I can often visualise Saturn as like a pillar of granite, okay? It's like, holding things up, immovable, no messing, I'm here to hold this building up. And you go to Egypt and you see it all there, and many other places. So Saturn is all that stuff, okay? And when it's in its own signs, like it has been, it works very well, very, very good at organising everything. Anyway, I've said all that. So now what's going to happen in March? Saturn, the block of granite, is going to be plunged into water, all right? This strict disciplinarian teacher, parent figure, the person who's coach, like a coach who's always on your case and, driving you to do better, good thing, is going into water. It's been in Earth, its own signs, okay? Capricorn, Earth, and Aquarius is actually air. It's been in Earth, then air, okay? And now it's going into water. You're dropping this control freak into vast waters. What do you think Saturn can do in Pisces? Right. Pisces, let us remember, is ruled by Neptune. Neptune is vast, limitless, no boundaries. Saturn is the opposite. Saturn is like, get that box, put it here, do this, do that, building, Saturn is like, Pisces is like, whoa, man, look at the sky, look at the moon, look at the stars. The sensational creativity of Neptune and Pisces. Pisces is the lover. Let's all love each other. Let's be together. Let's do, let's kind of all come and appreciate our differences and our similarities. Pisces is utopia. Pisces is healing. Pisces is dreaming. Pisces is visionary, okay? Saturn is structure, everything where it needs to be. No room for error or, flimsiness. So what is Pisces going to do to Saturn? What is Saturn going to do to Pisces? Let me start with that one first, because the Pisces energy is healing. It's art, it's music, it's incredible creativity, it is love, it's coming together, it's building the utopian dream, okay? So the best thing that I think about this is Saturn can give form and order to the utopian vision of Pisces for the next few years. Saturn can come in and go, oh, what are all you hippies doing, lying around and just, staring at a leaf and just saying, whoa, it's a miracle, man. That's what I would be doing in the garden on many afternoons. Lying under the oak tree just going, oh, it's just so beautiful. What an intelligent being. It's just like, praise the oak. Saturn will come in and go, okay, praise the oak. And what? What are you doing with praising the oak? How are you formulating this? How are you using this productively and, in a really positive and useful way? That's what Saturn will do. Saturn will come in, and for artists and singers and musicians and poets and the whole dressmakers, bakers, whatever, Saturn can come in and go, okay, you've got this skill. What are you doing with it? What are you doing with it? You've got all these ideas in your head, all this Neptune rules Pisces, this endless, boundless thoughts of wonder. And Saturn's going, and where are they? It's no good keeping them in here. Manifest them. Saturn is manifest it. Get it down, get it on paper, write that book. You've got this wonderful book in your head, write it down, get on with it. So Saturn in Pisces, I think, could be absolutely amazing to give form and structure to creativity and visions of a utopian world. Okay, put that together with Pluto in Aquarius and all the things that Pluto in Aquarius is capable of. Mind you, I did see something the other day and it was like, yeah, this is the dark side of that Pluto stuff. I said about technology and, Aquarian, Uranus, visionary technology to bring, fantastic things to the world. And then I read, and then you've got the Lord of the Underworld, Pluto. And then I read that in America, in one of the states, I think it was San Francisco, they had passed a kind of bill to say that robots could carry weapons. I don't know if any of you have ever seen those robo-dogs. They freaked me out from the first time I saw them, and that was years ago. And like these dogs, they're not dogs, they're robots with 4 legs that can run tirelessly, and never need feeding, never need anything. They just need a battery pack and, off they go. And of course they sold them as in, in a burning house, in a burning thing, this dog could go in and it could do this, that and the other. But of course, the minute I saw them, I thought they're going to be weaponized and they're just going to send them into the streets for protests or anything. Soldiers, they're just like machines with guns, and it's Terminator. I shouldn't laugh, but it kind of is, it's like machines with weapons. Anyway, at least it's not made of liquid metal and can get through any small little gap in anywhere. So back to Saturn. So Saturn in Pisces can do beautiful things. It can give structure to all this creativity that everyone is holding within them. Imagine if everyone just flooded the world with their creative visions, their beautiful creative visions, their words, and they're sharing their ideas in a beautiful way. I've always said this, and I probably said it on the last video, I'm going to say it again. Imagine if every radio, news program, billboard, paper, magazine was just full of loving kindness and loving acceptance and a wonderful, a constant feed, a constant wave of positivity, and how everything can work and how we can all work with Earth in order to bring the best out for us and Mother Earth herself, Gaia herself. Imagine if everything that we heard was a life-affirming, uplifting joyfulness. Imagine that. Saturn and Pisces could do that. There could be people setting up radio stations and just going, okay. I know they say good news doesn't sell, but I think that's actually that's out of date now. I think people need good news, and I think they need. I've got my own little Telegram channel, and all I post on it is just sweet stuff, nice stuff, animal stuff. Anything that isn't the dirge that brings the immune system down. So Saturn in Pisces. Pisces will that Neptunian Pisces will surround Saturn with a softness and a sparkliness that I don't quite think it will know what to do with. It's kind of okay. But it'll what when I first started thinking about Saturn in Pisces, I just saw Saturn dissolving into this vast ocean, just being dissolved and softened by Pisces, as opposed to like a really strict disciplinarian that's sitting you down and giving you a hard time constantly about how bad your grades are, or how your art needs improving, or how your grammar is terrible. It's almost like it's like it's delivered in a much more helpful, useful way, which is fantastic. I think the downside of Saturn in Pisces would be, Pisces is escapism. Neptune and Pisces are escapism and dreaminess and trusting to the point of, really? Why did you give that scammer £1,000? What? Didn't you? Okay, whatever. So, Pisces sometimes can be really taken for a ride because they're very trusting. They can be very trusting and just go, because they project their own goodness onto other people and think no one would be so unkind as to do A, B, C, or D. And the Neptune Pisces vibe is therefore can be open to disillusionment and disappointment. That you trusted, you opened your heart and you did this, that and the other, and then it all comes crashing down, or someone does something very unkind, and you just think, oh, well, I trusted that person, or I was kind to that person, and now they've just done something really unkind to me, and I don't really get it. So take Saturn. While I'm thinking of it as I say that, Saturn might actually give people with that Pisces, a lot of Pisces in their chart, maybe a bit of oomph to stand up and go, not anymore. That's not actually happening. That could actually happen. Saturn giving its order to the emotions of Pisces. Saturn giving order to the healing energy of Pisces. Structured healing, a new type of energy of structured healing, structured emotions. And also because Pisces Neptune is also addictions, because it's escapism, and people can be addicted to many different things. Maybe Saturn could give a structure to people, getting away from feeling the need to escape. And Saturn can bring something that a kind of more fruitful way to use that, use that kind of escapism vibe. Because you'll find with a lot of Pisces people, it's just too much. It's too much. I've got a lot of Pisces in my chart, and I just look at the world sometimes. It's like, how do people do that? Why do people do that? Why? Why would they do that? Just for profit? What? And it does. It freaks me out. It just like, I just can't understand it. I can't understand what. And therefore, when you can't understand it, it's like, and even worse when it affects me, directly. When it affects the whole world directly. But it's like, why? Why would someone do that to the Amazon? Why would they do that to orangutans? Why can't they just let the orangutans live where they want to live? Why do humans always have to just interfere and bring the worst to every situation? Obviously they don't. But I've also got Mars and Leo, so I can be very dramatic. so the combination is quite fun. So Saturn in Pisces, that is kind of the take. I'm going to do a little tarot. It's got such great potential. This disciplinarian put into beautiful tropical waters. Imagine it. It's like, chill out. You don't have to control everything all the time. Go and have a swim in the Maldives. Go and have a lovely snorkel. Go and just take time off organising everyone, and And then when you come out and you've had a nice swim and you've had a little snooze, then you can start organising all the creatives, all the joys, all the things that are possible in this world. Get everyone who's who's got those skills to add. All the people who know about sustenance. I'm going to be talking about Jupiter and the movement of Jupiter next, because Jupiter is also going to be doing something very interesting this year. So I'm trying to think of anything else. Let me just think about Saturn in Pisces when I'm shuffling the cards. I'm trying to think of anything else negative. Saturn could try and overwhelm the Piscean energy. But the thing is, Neptune Pisces energy is has no bounds. It's vast, and Saturn cannot control it. It cannot. No matter how hard it tries, Saturn will not be able to control the vast, silky, misty, sparkly fog of Neptune, even though it's a water. Sometimes because Neptune can cause, this kind of lack of seeing. It can be hazy and it can be a bit kind of confusing because it's it's so nebulous and large and big and out there. I suppose Saturn could get lost in that a bit and lose its ability to control, lose its ability to structure. It could be quite a loose time. God. Okay, so it could be. I'm just waiting to see if I get a jumper, and if not, I'll just take one from the top. So let me just think about Saturn in Pisces, a tarot card, just to give us a little bit of. There we go. That's the one. Oh, there's two. Okay. Oh. Dear. So there's two cards. The first card is the Page of Pentacles. A kind of naive, young, idealistic person with the hopes of the earth and the hopes of the materialism. That speaks to me more of the Jupiter and Taurus that's coming later on in the year. But have hope. Let your young heart sing. Let it hold up its dreams and, its ideas for new ways, new businesses, new thoughts, new ways of being, what you can offer to the world. Hold it dear in your heart. And then I remember this with Pluto. There's these two cards and there's a good one and then like this. And then there's this one, which is really interesting because the 10 of Wands. You see, this guy's been really successful. He's taken Saturn and he's done what Saturn asked. And now it's just like, it's like a real burden. It's success, but it's like, oh, he's now got to carry all his stuff to the market. And it's a little bit of a burden. See how he's like, his head is buried in it. He can't almost see where he's going for the burden that he has created for himself out of the success of everything that he wanted to do. If you look, the wands are blooming, blossoming, they're fertile. He looks quite well, doesn't he? He looks quite sturdy, but he's bent over trying to get his wares to market, and the success has become a burden. That is really interesting. And just for this, because these cards are so beautiful, I'm going to do one of these little wonders. So what I haven't said so far is, again, you can have a look in your chart where Pisces is, and then you can see where Saturn will be traveling through your chart in the next 3 years. I give you an area where you can work on and use the best aspects of Saturn in the chart that it's going through. So that will be nice to have a look at. So let's see. I suppose you'll have both. In Vedic astrology, they always say that, and it's the same with Western astrology. Both things there'll be a loose time where Saturn isn't in control because he can't be, and then Saturn will try and control the hippie vibe and the kinds of try and motivate all of the star seeds and all the kind of lovers and the light bearers and the way showers, try and get them to organise, and then they'll all sit down and have a drumming circle and a cacao ceremony, and then they'll all go to sleep for a bit, and then hopefully Saturn can give them a little booster. Okay, this is what came up. I knew this was going to come up. You know, when I was shuffling these cards earlier on, I saw it and I thought, oh, that's a perfect card. This is absolutely beautiful. Okay, here, look at this card. I love these cards. Actually, it's actually purple. Oh, you can kind of see it if I do that. It's got almost too much light on it. Birthing a new age. Is that just perfect? Birthing a new age. Birthing new creation. Look at that. How amazing. Dreaming new worlds into being. Is that not just the perfect card for everything I have just said? Birthing a new age. That is Saturn in Pisces. That is the potential. That's amazing. I love that. Let's try and get all the colours. If I move it up. There it says, birthing a new age. Let's get my finger off there. Look at that. That is amazing. I love that. Look at that. So, there you go. Let's use the next 3 years with Saturn in Pisces, Pluto in Aquarius. Well, that's going to be for 20 years. And then we've got Jupiter with its journey this year through Aries and then into Taurus. It is a very exciting year.